Session 15. When the mind leads, the money follows. Welcome to Session 15. I am Rich Abbott. This is the Steward's Mind, the final session of Week 3. We have spent this week inside Romans 12, verse 2. We looked at how the mind actually changes, the neuroscience of neuroplasticity, the role of attention, the mechanism of repetition. We looked at the pattern of the world and how it presses against the financial mind through 1,000 channels simultaneously. We looked at what science is confirming that Scripture always knew. And in Session 14, we built the daily architecture of renewal, the practical structure that turns intention into transformation. Today I want to step back and give you the big picture. Because after 3 weeks of interior work, identity, heart, mind, you may be wondering, when does this connect to the money? When do the bank account and the investment account and the income numbers start to reflect what we have been doing in here? The answer is, it already has been. And the more complete the interior renovation becomes, the more visible the exterior shift will be. When the mind leads, the money follows. This is not a slogan. It is how stewardship actually works. Part 1. The interior to exterior flow. Solomon said in Proverbs 4:23 that everything flows from the heart, from the lev, the inner command center. Paul said in Romans 12 verse 2 that you are transformed by the renewing of the mind, the nous, the faculty of perception and decision. These two scriptures are describing the same reality from slightly different angles. The interior life produces the exterior outcomes. What is happening in the lev, the heart, and the nous, mind, is producing what is happening in the bank account, the income, the financial decisions, the relationship with opportunity and risk. Most approaches to financial improvement start from the outside. Better budgeting, more income, smarter investments, different strategies. And those things matter. We will get to the practical dimension in week 4 and 5. But strategy applied to an unrenewed mind produces the same outcomes as no strategy at all. Or it produces short-term gains that are eventually undone by the thermostat. The steward who works from the inside out, who does the interior renovation first, who builds the identity and guards the lev and renews the nous, that steward brings a different quality of mind to every practical financial decision. The same strategies produce different results because the person applying them has a different relationship to money, to risk, to increase, to their own capacity. This is why we spent 3 weeks on the interior before touching the practical. Not because the practical does not matter, but because the interior is the foundation, and you cannot build a lasting structure on an unrenewed foundation. Part 2. What changes when the mind is renewed? Let me describe specifically what shifts as the mind is renewed, not aspirationally, based on what I have observed and experienced. The first thing that shifts is the speed of recovery. When a financial setback happens, and setbacks happen to everyone, a person with a renewed mind recovers faster. Not because they feel no pain, but because the dominant narrative in the lev is not the setback confirms what I always feared. It is this. This is temporary. I know who I am. I know what God says. I know how to rebuild. The second thing that shifts is the relationship with opportunity. A person with an unrenewed financial mind sees opportunity through the lens of the thermostat. What could go wrong? Why this is not for me? Why the timing is wrong? A person with a renewed mind sees opportunity through a different lens. What is possible here? What is my role in this? What does wise stewardship look like in this moment? The opportunity is the same. The response is different, and different responses produce different outcomes. The third thing that shifts is the quality of financial decisions, not the information available, the quality of thinking applied to that information. A scarcity mind makes decisions from fear. An abundance mind, a renewed mind rooted in the truth of what God says about stewardship, makes decisions from a fundamentally different orientation. The same budget, the same income, the same options, but different decisions emerging from a different level. The fourth thing that shifts is the capacity for generosity. This may seem counterintuitive, but it is one of the most consistent patterns I have observed. As the financial mind is renewed, the grip of money loosens. The person who was afraid to give because scarcity felt permanent begins to give with more freedom, not because they suddenly have more, but because the lev is no longer operating from the assumption that there will never be enough. And generosity, as Scripture consistently affirms, and as many people have experienced, is itself a seed. It participates in the generative, multiplying economy of the kingdom. The open hand receives what the closed hand cannot. Part 3, the long view. I want to close week 3 with something I wish someone had said to me when I was younger. Something I have had to learn the long way. Transformation is a long game. The interior renovation we are undertaking in the steward's mind is not a 30-day project that concludes with a certificate and a changed bank balance. It is the beginning of a way of living, a posture toward the mind and the lev, and ongoing renewal that is available to every person who chooses it. 30 days from now, at the end of this journey, you will have laid foundations. You will have done significant work, and you will be different, not completely, not finally, but genuinely, measurably different in how you relate to money and identity and possibility. But the work continues. The daily architecture we built in Session 14 is not a 30-day program. It is a permanent rhythm. The morning anchoring, the interception practice, the evening evidence, the weekly review. These are not scaffolding to be removed when the construction is complete. They are the maintenance of a renewed mind in a world that continues to apply pressure in the opposite direction. Paul said, be continuously transformed, present, continuous, ongoing, not a moment of transformation, but a life of transformation. You are not behind, you are not too late, you are not too damaged or too conditioned or too old. You are a steward with a nous, a mind that can be renewed, right now, starting today, one deliberate choice at a time. Keep going. Part 4, your Week 3 Declaration. This is the Week 3 Declaration in full. Read it first and then say it with me. My mind is capable of change, genuine, structural, lasting change. I am not conformed to the pattern of this world around money. I am being continuously transformed by the renewing of my mind. What I attend to consistently, I become. I attend deliberately to what is true, noble, right, and aligned with God's purpose for my life. I have built the daily architecture of renewal, and I show up for it. When the mind leads, the money follows, and my mind is being led by truth. Part 5, looking ahead to week 4. In week 4, we move from the interior to the exterior. The theme is the hand, the practical dimension of stewardship. We're going to look at what it actually means to manage money as a steward rather than an owner. We will work through the principles of biblical financial management, earning, spending, saving, giving, investing, not as a budget program, but as an expression of renewed identity. The interior work of the first 3 weeks has been building the foundation. Week 4 is where we begin to build on it. You have done significant work this week. The architecture is in place. Keep showing up for it. Closing declaration. Say this and mean it. I am a steward with a renewed mind. The interior renovation is in progress. I bring a different quality of thinking to every financial decision. When the mind leads, the money follows. And my mind is leading toward truth, toward increase, toward the generous, purposeful financial life God designed for me. This is Rich Abbott. Week 3 is complete. I will meet you in session 16 for the start of week 4, The Hand. Free Money Mindset Guide at richabbott.com/guide.